All right, let's hear from Richard Sherman. Sherman weighed in as well. And Richard Sherman has had a bunch of things to say, good and bad, about the Niners.
Team missed.
Here it
The
is.
thing that just hurt me more than anything was the tackling. Like, there were 15 missed tackles in the first half alone. I just have never seen it from these same men in these jerseys. Now, there are some new faces, some new people on the D line, but 15 missed tackles in a game is mind-boggling. But 15 and a half of football, I mean, it was disappointing to watch. It was disappointing to feel helpless. You feel helpless watching it happen because Josh Jacobs just was doing whatever he wanted. I mean, it looked like 2 or 3 guys have a hold of him, and he just runs through the tackle. I mean, it was demoralizing consistently. And that was just the first drive of the game that he was doing this. He was, I think he had 77 yards in the first quarter or something like that. And it just seemed like they had no answer to stop him. He was hitting the first level, second level, third level, and they were just really taking the hearts of the San Francisco 49ers. I think their first drive may have been 7 minutes. And it just seemed like it was just an inevitability that they would score on that drive. Then you say, okay, all right, it's a rough start for the defense, but that happens sometimes. And you think, hey, the offense, you know, I know you got a new quarterback, but this is Kyle. He'll craft something up. I know that that Hafley knows him well. Jeff Hafley, he coached us the secondary my first year in San Francisco in 2018. Really good coach. Understands defense. Understands that offense really well. Has answers. Has the playmakers in the secondary to make plays. Obviously, Xavier McKinney, friend of the program, has made a ton of plays and made some plays in this game. But they just couldn't get anything going. They looked disoriented. I mean, they're slipping, they're sliding. And in the first half, they really had nothing to hang their hat on. They end up putting together a touchdown drive. Really just more of a sigh of relief as a fan watching this game to say, man, this could have been really bad in that first half. Christian Watson drops a wide open touchdown, and you just say, maybe that's the break the San Francisco 49ers defense needed to get back on track, to make some plays. And in the second half, for all intents and purposes, the offense started okay, but, you know, I wasn't able to convert on 4th down in the first drive of the second half. The defense stands up. The defense is looking like their old selves in that second half, getting stops, tackling, moving, flying around. Then here come the turnovers, interception, and then a fumble in the pocket from Brandon Allen, and then a fumble from Christian McCaffrey. And that's when you knew, Mitchell, this was not their day. I really don't have the answers, because you knew that the injuries, this team is so top heavy that when you're without your high paid guys, when you're without Trent Williams, the O-line is going to be average to below average. I mean, without him, and that's why they paid him so much money to come back. That's why when he was holding out, he knew that he would get his money, because without him, they are not a great or good offensive line. But with him, they move into a different stratosphere, because they can do a lot of things to slide away, to protect the rest of those guys, and really make his job very difficult, sliding away, him on the backside, running towards him, running behind 71 like they always do. But when he's not there, the identity just changes. And the offense didn't do Brandon Allen any favors today. There were drop passes all over the place. Tight end dropped pass. Debo dropped one in traffic. It looked like, you know, he was about to get hit. It was a tight window pass, led to an interception for Xavier McKinney. And it just couldn't get right. You couldn't find a way. You couldn't see it. And I just don't see the hope, you know, that I want to see. And I know that people are like, man, they're considering Daniel Jones. Even that's disappointing to me, Mitchell. That just shows me how.
I know you want him, Richard. I know you want him there in San Francisco. You've spoken too highly of him this entire season, man. I would love to see him don a 49ers red jersey just for you, my friend.
All right, there you go, Richard Sherman. All right, let's talk about what he said. I mean, he's talking about the missed tackles, and it really does stand out. And it did. It did. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, the 49ers are getting gassed, but they miss an awful lot of tackles. And, yes, they missed Dre Greenlaw, but this can't be all about Dre Greenlaw. Come on. You haven't had Dre Greenlaw all year, and they're just missing tackles in bunches. I was like screaming at the TV set this weekend just because they're just so bad as far as they don't wrap anybody up. Jacobs was carrying people 3 yards, 4 yards. Nobody hit anybody. Everybody's kind of arm tackling and holding on and glancing blows. And outside of Malik Mustafa, who just wants to smoke everybody. I mean, he just wants to kill everybody. Nobody else in that team hits. Everybody else is just kind of grab and drag. Here's Sorensen from a few weeks ago. Now, I asked him this question about missing tackles, and listen to what he said at the time. Man, this is like he's talking about a defense that he wants, but it's not the defense that he has. Here's Sorensen from a few weeks back.
What does the film show? Is it fatigue? Are these guys breaking down a little bit?
I wouldn't say it's fatigue. I think we miss tackles sometimes because we're aggressive. Like, we do coach our guys to take their shots. If you show, like, make me a cut up of those tackles and I'll tell you if it's a good or bad one, to be honest. I mean, that's just, we play aggressive. We play violent. We have, I think, sometimes Fred shows up with quite a few missed tackles, but if a guy stops his feet and, they're having to take time and that guy loses a yard, but you kind of fall off. And now we've got 2 other guys coming, and that's not a bad missed tackle.
These have been bad missed tackles, Nick. So he's talking about his defense there, and he's like, we're aggressive, we're fast, we're violent. No, you're not. No, you're not. You want to be aggressive. You want to be fast. You want to be violent. You may be coaching those guys to do those things, but that's not the way they're playing. Nobody who watched that yesterday would say, yeah, that's a fast, violent, hard-hitting football team on defense. No. They didn't hit anybody all day for the most part out of Mustafa, other than Malik Mustafa, who had a number of big hits. Everybody else kind of just grab and drag. Not that powerful, not that explosive. Here's another interesting little breakdown on the Niners, I thought, from today. This is Chris Canty. Here's Chris Canty weighing in on the Niners. This is off the Coach Yak X channel, but Chris Canty from ESPN.
The Niners are in big trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Big trouble. Nobody's healthy. They're not playing well when they are healthy. They're going into the offseason, where there's going to be a ton of conversation about the Brock Purdy contract. In no way, shape, or form are they record-wise done, but they are in last place in a division that no one is running away with. Seattle 6-5, Arizona 6-5 after the Seattle win against Arizona yesterday. The Rams lose last night, as we've discussed, to the Eagles. They're 5-6, and the Niners are 5-6. The Niners are not a good football team right now. They feel, based on their play and based on their health, that they're done. Based on the way that division is, somehow, some way, they could still squeak in. Doesn't seem likely at this point.
They're done.
You want to say they're done altogether?
No, they're done. They're done.
I'm not ready to do that
done.
yet.
Their season is done. The championship runs with this core of players is done. It's over. It's over.
I'm not ready to do it yet.
Well, you can say you're not ready to do it. Yeah, you'll get to the party late, but it's over. I've been telling you that for a while now. It's over. Like the window is closed, the curtains are drawn. It's a wrap.
You told us at the end of last year in the Super Bowl. You said the window is closed.
It's a wrap. They weren't going to get off the map from Kyle Shanahan deciding to take the ball first.
Third possession.
I mean, think about it, Smalls. They've played 12 playoff games since 2019.
Wow.
That's damn near a season.
Wow.
In playoff games. That's a lot of football games to play without actually winning the ultimate prize. And now you're seeing all of those games start to take a toll on older veteran players, guys like Christian McCaffrey, guys like Trent Williams, guys like George Kittle, guys like Deebo Samuel. It catches up to you.
Mm-hmm.
And the 49ers should consider themselves caught.
So there you go. Chris Canty, the former Virginia defensive lineman, says they're done. He does make one really, really good point. 12 playoff games. 12 since 2019. So there's only, 17 games in the season. 12 playoff games, and the way you play playoff games where your starters play, big, all the time, and you're going for it in a big way. you could almost say that 12 playoff games would be harder than 17 regular season games. They essentially have played an entire season of extra football, and it's caught up with them.